Hi, I'm Rita Lucia, also known as Lady Legasus, and I'm a gaming content creator on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. I've been streaming since 2020, so that makes it about 4 years since I've been creating content when it comes to gaming. And I've been gaming for a really long time since I was very small with my brothers. We started from the Nintendo Wii, so you can imagine how far back we've been gaming. That was really provided for us by our mom, and before you know it, she got us different consoles, and it just became a point of bonding for us. So I really stuck with it. I fell apart and I stopped playing in high school, but I got back into it right before the pandemic happened when I was on my gap year. And since then, I've just been in love with gaming. I realized that this is really my home. I usually play first person shooter games, or I play story based games. So, in first person shooter games, maybe a game like Apex Legends or a game like Valorant, Call of Duty, which you might know. I've even played Halo back in the day. And now, when it comes to story based games, I'm talking about Uncharted, The Last of Us, Horizon, God of War. Any game I can really get my hands on is the kind of game I'm playing, as long as I'm having fun with it and I can play with my friends. Sometimes I prefer solo games where it's just me and like a puzzle to solve. But yeah, I love gaming. I am live on Twitch and TikTok most days, apart from Friday and Saturday. So you can catch me live, watch me game, watch me engage with my community. There's lots of gamer girls like me out there, so you should definitely support us any way you can. And if you have any more questions for me, feel free to pop by my channel sometime. Bye.
A very simple question for the two of you. Do you play video games?
I do. I do. But then, can you call Candy Crush a video game?
I think so. I think it qualifies. Candy Crush is a video game. So you just told me what you play. Is that the only game you play?
Um, on my phone, yeah, I would say Candy Crush and this word game. How is it called?
Four picks, one word.
Yeah, it's that.
Nice. Which one do you prefer?
You know, with a word thing, you have to use your brains and it helps you, it educates you. You need to form letters and words. No, words I mean, not letters, words. Yes. With a Candy Crush, I think that one also involves your brain because if you don't think well, you will lose. So yeah, it's and both of them. I would say Candy Crush reduces stress. Yes.
You
Yeah.
also gives you the chance to be strategic.
Yeah.
You have to be strategic, which can learn before you get a plan.
And when to use your bonuses. If I say bonuses, you understand? Yeah.
Darren, what about you? What games do you play?
Well, I play a lot of games. So we talk of the FIFA, talk of PES, which is 90 football, talk of Mortal Kombat, talk of Grand Theft. Well, I've played varieties of games. But my favorite would be, I think FIFA. FIFA is has this real look where it feels like you are controlling human beings, but they are not human beings, they are just some AI stuff on the videos you control. But I enjoy playing FIFA.
Do I have to ask you what team you use?
You are well. So the team I usually use a team based on who I'm playing with. But there are certain teams I will not use. But usually I use teams based on my opponent. So if my opponent picks Chelsea, I know definitely Chelsea is rival with Arsenal. So I'll pick Arsenal. I usually use Arsenal most of the time, but based on the strength of my opponent, it determines the kind of team I use. I can use Real Madrid, I can use Bayern Munich based on what my opponent. Even in FIFA, some teams have been high rated, but some have been super others.
Yeah.
So in 23, in 24, you can get someone pick PSG or pick Real Madrid. And those teams are very high rated. Even Man City, the stats there are so incredible. So for you to match them, I usually go for Bayern Munich, who are like side by side or can be matched or rated closer to such teams. So I'm able to utilize my team well. I always try to defeat my opponent, but sometimes I also lose. That's part of the game.
That's
So
part
I
of the
lose.
game. Lati, Darren, thanks.
All right, so I prefer video games. I'm not a video game maniac, but I love video games, especially when you get to experience that sort of imaginary, gaming system. I love to play PS all the time, especially when I'm with the guys. We get to experience that sort of DJ thing. But most of the times, in a way, it gets boring. Trust me, it gets boring. Sometimes you play and play and play. Your eyes cry, like, so it gets boring. As compared to like field game and stuff, I prefer video game because you are situated in an enclosed area, very serene place of your own comfort. But video games, in a way, sometimes I don't really encourage it because of how it takes time. It also, in a way, because sometimes I can play like the whole day in my eyes, actually. So video games, yeah, I'm not really so entitled, but I love to play with it in the course of time.
I love video games. You're probably wondering why I do immerse myself in that enriching experience. It's simple, it's fun, and for someone who usually takes and involves himself in a lot of interviews, research, reading, it really distracts me, serves up some good distraction for me. Can you imagine sometimes I'm at work and I'm actually trying to develop strategies to avoid an obstacle in the way? Sometimes for FIFA 23, I try to come up with the best strategies to score a particular team, and it always tests my brains. Maybe you should probably join in the experiment, but for me, video games are always fun.
Hi, James. Thank you for having me. So, my name is Victor. I'm a video editor and camera operator. And yes, to the topic about video games, I love video games. I've been playing it all my whole life. Since I got to start using phone at the age of 5, 6, yeah, especially Nokia. This Nokia has this best game. Like the breaks game and the snake games. Those games were the best. Playing snake was very interesting around that time. You just take your phone, start playing snake on it, and until you end up seeing those cartridge games. Is it? Yeah, cartridge, or their break games. It's like was the new thing in town. So everybody was playing breaks, which I also got to play and laugh. Until we evolved to the 999999. That's the console name. I don't know its model, but that was the name on the box, 9999 something. That was when I got to play my first Mario game. And up to now, I'll just say up to now, that Mario game, the olden days Mario, the 1996, is it 96 or 93 Mario games, is still the best. Still the best, and it will be the best. Just the knowledge, the thought about it is very, I still like it. I like it in 2D. The 2D one is nice, even though the 3D is out and is fun to play with, but yeah. So I think through the 99 games, I got introduced to the whole variety of games. Then I got to play Game Boy, which was loving it, but I didn't get more invested into it until PSP came and took everything from me. That game was very giving. That console, that thing was very interesting. The gaming, that thing introduced me to God of War. I'm like, that's it. I like adventure games. That thing made me love adventure games. And sorry to say, I'm not a football fan, but anything adventure, knowledge, like that thing is just gets me going. So I think that was the last game I played until I started moving straight to PC games. From Contrast, I played on PC. Insecticide, I'm sure that's the name, to this game Mario, okay, the variety of Marios, the OG Marios, there was the Mario Kart, the racing own, and there's another, I mean, the nicer one where Mario can turn into a cat. Is it a cat or a raccoon? Take one of those things. I got to play that one, I was loving it, and yeah, it took me aback. I'm like, yeah, that game was very good, very good. So from that moment came to Contrast. Is it Contrast? No, Hello. That game is a game, and I like that game. Still my top game. Still loving it. Hello is like it's it's close to the level of. I mean, if you love a shooting game, like Hello is the best. So yeah, Hello, Hitman games, and I mean, I got into loving first shooter games after getting introduced to Hello. So I started exploring it. I started playing Hitman, oh, James Bond, and James Bond games. Then I got into this one also, Total Overdose, which is like another version of Grand Theft Auto, but Mexican style, and I think that one is very nicer than Grand Theft. It got variety of moves. He could just flip, back shots, like all the style of shooting. You could run on a wall and shoot. You could go into a fence mode. I mean, that game was very nice. Total Overdose. That game was very nice. So yeah, I think that will be my history of games that I've played so far. Until yeah, recently I'm getting back to playing Miles Morales. Oh, is it Miles? Yeah, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Yeah, the special. Is it limited edition? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to play at the moment. And yeah, I'm still exploring more, still trying to get my hands more on those games. And why do I forget this best game, Chicken Invaders? I mean, Chicken Invaders was a very nice game. I know some of you have not played that game, but seriously, that Chicken Invaders is given. So yeah, as I said, that's my history of the games that I've played so far. Now, it's those games are still the best. Still the best. I mean, like video games is everything. To me, it's everything to me. All the games I mentioned, Contrast or Counter Strike, all those games is like everything. So yeah, as I said, as a video editor, those games made me who I am today. It just made me like, yeah, it just forced me into those editing scenarios. So yeah, I think that's all I can say about these video games, because I love them. I always love them. I always keep playing them, and I don't care what people say. But sorry, adventure games is the best for me, and that's it. So yeah, thank you very much for having me on this show.